Sunday evening spectacular here on MMT live from the City of Angels. We have a big topic tonight. We're going to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. It set a huge record here for October, pretty much one of the biggest openings we've seen for this month. It would have been even bigger had it been theatrical exclusive, but it wasn't, as you know, streaming on Peacock. But the big thing I want to talk about tonight in moments is why are film goers, movie watchers, giving this thing a pass? This is not a good film, okay? In no way, shape, or form is Five Nights at Freddy's a quality movie, except for the animatronics. That's it. It's the only thing they got right. Everything else generally sucks. And I'm really curious your thoughts. Why is everyone giving this film a pass? Like, what are we doing in society now where this is considered okay? This is an A- cinema score. Are we nuts? Have we lost our collective minds? Let's talk about the debut, though, first, because 78 million is impressive. Again, giving that streaming date, this is really good stuff. Let's show you what I have here. Let's put it up, and we talk about the THR article, and you can see kind of what happened here with this film. It's a total of 130 million worldwide. And again, this would have been so much bigger had it been only in theaters. But as you know, Universal needs Peacock to flourish. So they're like, let's just send this here and we can get some subscribers. That's one of the reasons they did this. Just shows you the power of this brand. But again, I really want to talk about this film and the quality. And look here, the audience, 94% of the audience here this weekend in theaters under the age of 35, which is really astronomical. You don't see that. You just go, wow, that proves how big a brand this is for millennials, Gen Z, everyone under the age of 35. It's basically the entire audience. But here's the question that I need to ask you now. Why are you, if you are, giving this film a pass? Don't tell me it's because you were excited to see the characters on the big screen. Fantastic, great, that's fine. But you have to have higher expectations. Imagine if you went into anything in your life walking in going, yeah, you know what? This very average thing is okay. If that were the case, someone like Grace Randolph would have 1 million subscribers. Oh, shit. But is that the world we want to live in, where subpar equals okay? Because there's no way you can tell me that this film is a great adaptation of the source material. Now, right now, you're shouting at me, what did you want? It's a video game. Because that's the problem. I want something a little more, a little elevated. Go back and look at the best adaptations of intellectual property, right? For me, the first thing I go to, the film that blew me away, that took what should have been a very forgettable film and then turned it into something that is one of the best of all time animation. We're talking about the Lego Movie. And if you haven't seen the Lego Movie, that's the first thing you need to do as soon as the stream is over. You need to watch the brilliance, the genius of Lord and Miller and how they take that IP and then elevate it through the roof to a level that you never expected a film to go. I'll never forget watching that the week before it opened in Boston. I roll in on a Saturday morning to watch the Lego Movie, and I'm like, okay, I'm just expecting a movie. I'm not expecting something that I got, which is sheer brilliance. And when you watch Five Nights at Freddy's, you don't get close to that. Let me tell you why I don't think this film is nearly as great as it could be. There's a bunch of stuff I'm about ready to say that's going to get me in more trouble in Hollywood, but at this point, I do not give a shit. I stopped giving a shit a long time ago. You guys know who watch the channel know that that's the case. Let's start with who they pick to direct this film. And yes, this is going to get a little bit uncomfortable because Eric's going to go after a female director. But if you are any fan of this channel, if you've watched even for a moment, you know that you can't go there with me. You can't say, I hate all female directors, right? Not when I have Saint Maud as my #1 film of 2021, when I have After Sun in the top 3 films of last year, both directed by a woman. We can't go there. So just don't bother. Stop going. Don't even think about it. Don't even. When you select, and it's not because she's a woman, by the way, that I'm attacked, but I'm just going to say she is a woman. Do you see? It's not because she's a woman. She happens to be a woman. I would be attacking the director of this film and the writer more specifically, if it were an old white dude. So don't go there. When you look at the credits of the director here, Emma Tammy, let's pop it up and make it bigger so you can see. She essentially has really not much of a resume at all. Okay. When you look at what she's done before as a director, you go back and you look, let's go through the filmography. And I was looking through this going, what are these films? Into the Dark. I don't even know what that is. A streaming series. The Left Right Game. I don't know what that is either. It's a podcast series. So you directed a podcast series? What? How's that qualify for direction of a film? The Wind, which I think was the one that got her on the radar. I didn't see it. Obviously, it's a tiny film. I do like the runtime of 128. But do you see? Okay, so we look at this. So what you're looking for, so let me just say this. What you're looking for whenever you have a director that's handed something this big, this kind of IP, you have to have a proven track record or at least one really quality film. And you look at, okay, here's a perfect example, and I know it's not a woman, but we're going to go there. When you look at Bruckner, who directed The Night House, when you watch The Night House, you go, shit. This guy, this kid, this guy's talented. And then what they give him, Hellraiser. That's what you're doing here. So now, granted, I'm going to tell you this. I didn't watch The Wind. Maybe I'll watch it. It's got a 5.6. It's not a good rating, but it's okay. I'm not going to even go there. I will watch The Wind. I promise you, after the stream, I will watch The Wind sometime this week. But my point is that when you hand someone a property like this, you really want to have seen something that knocks you on your ass. This is good. A great example would be Rose Glass. Now, Rose Glass is not the kind of director who I think would even be interested in a Five Nights at Freddy's. There's some directors that just want to do their own thing. Rose is definitely one of those. Charlotte Wells. I'm picking women, so you guys can't say, oh, okay. When you look at, for me, another director, so many young directors out there. Ford, who directed Emily the Criminal. Talented. When I watch a film like Emily the Criminal, I would be like, this guy, John David Ford, I believe is the name, right? Ford, end of the last name. When you look at that film, you go, this is a talent, right? And I'd say, okay, we're going to bring him into Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, here's where I'm going to break some shit apart here in Hollywood and do what I do better than anybody else. No one else is doing this. Certainly not Grace Randolph and just 1 billion subscribers for mediocre at best output. Mediocre, okay? Here's one of the reasons Five Nights at Freddy's got screwed, because it is made by Blumhouse. Let me tell you a little secret about Blumhouse. And by the way, here, Jason's going to get this, and he's going to have to listen to this, because this is the cold hard truth. This is what we do here. Here is the problem with Blumhouse. Let me tell you. They're notorious in this town for paying people jack shit. I have numerous people who've told me, numerous sources, well-connected sources, that tell me Blumhouse is one of the cheapest outfits in all of LA, in all of Hollywood, in the entire industry. You get what you pay for, okay? And as such, you have this property, and you already spent money, obviously, to acquire it. You have to spend all this money on the animatronics, which look amazing. No one is even going to debate the fact that they brought that to life. I talked about it in the reaction stream. There is zero to say Zero negative at all to say about the creature design here with this film. But when you spend all that money, you have very little left over. And they're like, who can we get to direct this film? We can pay them essentially peanuts. Who can, not penises, peanuts. Who can we get to direct this thing and not pay him anything? Who's an actor we can get that we can get on the cheap that sort of has a name? Josh Hutcherson. Look at Josh Hutcherson. When you look at this guy's resume, since Hunger Games, he hasn't had anything that's been successful. I was going through this going 57 seconds. Do you guys remember that one from this year? I don't remember 57. Is that a Netflix movie? That would probably be why I didn't know what it was. It says in theater, so it can't be Netflix. Okay, go back. He did 31 episodes of Ultraman. It's a voice? He was a voice, okay? So I mean, listen, I'm not can I just say something as I'm harassing Josh Hutcherson and saying that, he doesn't have you're on a YouTube channel with 2,000 subscribers. So let's just, at least I'm being honest with you. But when you start to do this, you don't have a lot of success, and you've got an actor who hasn't been in anything. By the way, he's so absolutely comatose in this. It's like, dude, why don't you just try to have a little bit of fun with a movie about killer Chuck E. Cheese characters? Can't you just try Nick Cage in Willy's Wonderland? Of course, Hutcherson doesn't have nearly the presence of Nick Cage, nor just the swagger. So you're left with this boring actor who looks incredibly dull in the movie, and then the screenplay written by the director, who is the problem with this film is that screenplay. And that's why I'm going back to the director who, of course, co-wrote this with another guy with no credits. Who's the other writer here? The other writer, you got the video game guy who obviously gets the writing credit because he created the characters. Then you have Emma Tammy, who directed it. She wrote it. Okay. And then you have this other person. Hold on, let me get the other guy's name. Seth Crudaback. Or excuse me, Kudaback. And he has no credits either. Look, he wrote Mateo in 2014. Kelp. He wrote Kelp. It's a short from 2009. Everybody, the world famous, we all remember where we were when we first watched Kelp. Again, I'm making fun of this as a guy with 2,000 subs on YouTube. I don't care though. That's the thing. I don't care. So whatever. Okay. He also wrote The Best and Worst Days of George Morales' Unnaturally Long Life. Another very popular short that we all remember. Here's what I'm getting at. When you have people who don't have really any credits and you're giving him this film and you're given a responsibility, right? If they gave me Five Nights at Freddy's, and I don't know the mythology of it, but I can promise you this, I would brush up on it on the quick, but I would never, ever, and I tell you, I'm writing a script now, it's taking forever, but let me promise you this, my script will be better than the shit that they wrote for Five Nights at Freddy's. When you give Hutcherson's character, his brother was abducted. Then he has a sister 20 years younger than him. She's in a custody battle. He is with is that his niece? Who's the relative? His aunt. It's so terrible. Why is all this shit in this movie about a killer Chuck E. Cheese character? What is going on? That's why I wish you could have seen me live watching this film on Wednesday night, going like this. This is my face the entire time. I was like, what? And the people behind me were annoying as hell, talking the whole time, going, oh my God, that's Ducky. Oh my God, that's Bonkers. Whatever the names are, guys, you got, holy crap, that's Bowser. Wait, that's from... That's what I was dealing with the entire time. Oh my God, did you see it? First of all, shut the hell up. Okay, you're not at home. I don't need you to narrate who's on the screen, even though I don't know who they are. And I sort of appreciated you saying that some person. Why do people feel they have the need? There were like 4 people behind me with the IQ collective of maybe 55. The 4 of them were like, oh, that's this, that's that. Oh, did you see? Like, do you know how rude that shit is? I'm so angry. I'm just going off on everything here tonight. I didn't go off on this in the stream the other night. Who do people think they are that they can just start talking out loud in a movie? Like they are like entitled to that shit. Shut the hell up. I mean, honest to God, if I cared about that movie, I would have stood up because you know I would because I'm that guy. And I would have turned around and said, can you guys shut the fuck up? That's all I'm going to ask you. And everyone go, oh, shit. Because I am not going to put up with that crap. But I did that night because the movie is so terrible. But can you explain that for me too? Why do people sit there and talk the whole time? Why are they so entitled? All right, let's get some answers. I've just thrown so much shit on I just literally unloaded on Five Nights at Freddy's so many different things. It's your turn to come in with the comments. Simple answer. Target for the movie is like 9 to 14-year-olds, but that's the problem, Renee. That's the issue. This movie's not for 9 to 14-year-olds. Emmy and whoever the hell, Mr. Moss Kelp, he wrote this thing. This is not for kids. This is not how you write a movie for kids. So all these people are like, it's a sanitized, entry into horror. What are you talking about? A movie where he's taking, he needs drugs at night to go to bed so he can dream. And then he can like go back into the dream so he can try to save his brother who was abducted, like the kids who are now inhabiting the character. That's terrible. That's terrible writing. Why do writers think they have to add so much shit to a movie? How many times have I told you guys the best movies are the most scaled down, the simplest films? These writers don't know what the hell. Again, the writer's strike. I wish it would have kept on to get rid of some of these writers. They suck. I'm tired. Listen, I know. I've gone off. But I'm telling you guys, at the end of the day, we have a real problem with people who are very untalented in a space where they don't belong. I've said it over and over and over, and I'm doing it again tonight. It's a rant. This whole hour is going to be a rant. I'm tired of this shit. We have people who don't deserve to be in the places they are, and based on this script, neither of these people should ever write another movie again in their lives. And yet, guess what? They'll be attached to the sequel. Jason Blum, you need to get better control of your quality. You need to start paying people more money because those stories about you paying people jack shit are coming back. And this is what I'm telling you. The only person who says this stuff is me because I don't care anymore. I'll burn it all down. Doesn't matter, okay? I don't care. I want to see a good film. That's all I want, okay? Simple, not hard. Okay, that was rage. That was pure rage. I think it's mostly just another fresh IP and the timing of Halloween and family friendly. But again, indie fandom, it's terrible. It's not a good script. It's not for kids. If it were for kids, I would have had more fun. Willy's Wonderland is more for kids than Five Nights at Freddy's. Honestly, it's more violent, but it's more, you could watch that film as a kid and relate to it more and have more fun watching that film than Five Nights at Freddy's. Because why? Because Emmy and whoever the Scott, the Kelp guy, the script that he wrote is not for kids. Do you guys, why am I the only person who sees this shit? Why are there people out there that gave this an A- cinema score? I am tired of people who expect nothing from their movies. Super Mario Brothers, same thing. Terrible. What a terrible IP adaptation. Not original, not for the Peaches song is abomination. The fact that kids sing that, it's not even clever. Like, what are we doing as writers? Is there any talented writers out there anymore? Because I don't see them in these movies. These movies are bad. These movies are really bad. The title of the stream answers its own question. The fans like the film because it doesn't cater to them. Throw away. It doesn't. Does a movie about a security guard whose brother was abducted and he has dreams every night to go in and save his abducted brother from the dream has nothing to do with the fucking movie. How is that? It's so terrible, this movie. It's so odorous. I can't even believe that people think this is good. At this point, I didn't want to go here, but I've already gone crazy. I'm going to keep going. You know, one of the problems we have in the world, and this is the truth, and you guys are all going to, now they're all coming for me. The problem is we have a lot of people in this world who are not very smart. That's the truth. At the end of the day, we have a lot of people that just have really base level expectations in life. They don't want to think much. They don't want to go to a movie. In this case, it's overthinking the movie. But in general, they just don't even know how to judge something. They think this is good. And if you think that Five Nights at Freddy's is a quality adaptation of the source material, you, my friend, don't have a clue what you're doing. I don't know anything about this franchise aside from it's a security guard watching cameras inside of a murderous Chuck E. Cheese joint. That's all I need to know. That's the movie. Why am I spending time outside of Freddy's? Why am I in a bedroom as he goes to bed and he dreams about his abducted brother and then has to deal with his sister 20 years younger and the custody battle? It's so shit. God, the script's terrible. God almighty, it's terrible. I can't, man. I can't do it. I think I might have to stop the stream. I'm getting overheated. It makes me furious that there are people out there that think this is good. They are fans of the property. It's no different from mindless MCU fanboys giving a masterpiece tag to the film. No, the MCU fanboys hated Ant-Man. Ant-Man's a million times better than this shit. I mean, come on, man. It was way more fun. This movie should have been fun. How is Five Nights at Freddy's an absolute drag? Because you got Josh Hutcherson, who's completely boring as hell to watch. You've got this screenplay that tries to do way too much and saddle and glom on all this bullshit that doesn't need to be in the movie. Here, I could write a better Five Nights at Freddy's right now at 8:38 in LA on a Sunday night. It's simple. The security guard gets hired. He walks in. It's scaled down. The movie is scaled down. There's none of the shit with the brother. There's none of the shit with the sister. The police? How about the police officer? The super hot police officer who randomly comes into the joint. What is this? It's so terribly written. Guys, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. We're talking about garbage here, and you guys think it's good. I believe they're giving a free pass. Yeah, the Mario movie is not a writers out there. You can't tell me that anything in the Mario Brothers movie is smart, witty. Nothing. Zero things. Oh, Timothy Chalamet's back. Here's the thing, Weber. It's 1B. FNAF is a well-made... Listen, I told you that it has good animatronics. Cinematography is not amazing, okay? Cinematography is cinematography. Flat. It's not up, it's not down, it's flat. Okay, the edits are basic. Nothing amazing about that. That's crazy. Grace Randolph, if it wasn't based on a famous game, she didn't say that, did she? Grace Randolph is the worst film critic in the history of planet Earth. It makes me, I cry, just so you guys know, every night that I do a stream, as soon as it's over, I start crying, thinking about how she has 100 times the audience that we... No, is it 1,000 times? Is it 10,000 times? I think it's actually like 100,000 times the audience. No, that's still not right. Yeah, it's something like that. Took my daughter to see it today. Welcome back, Dolce. And I was not expecting how many young kids were watching it. It was a kids movie. Waited 10 years to see it. Subpar. Yeah. Right? Did you not see? Exactly. You get to see what's on the big screen, but the movie's not great. Jason Blum, you need to answer for this shit. I mean, I'm not as angry as I was about Beau is Afraid. That's unwatchable. This is watchable, but it's not great. Jason Blum should be ashamed that he put this movie out, that they thought this script was good. It tells me that Jason Blum doesn't know what a good script is, because this is a shit script and he greenlit it and he said, go ahead, Emmy, make whatever. And I assume she wrote the majority of this, because you got to remember the guy who made the video game, he's largely just there to kind of say, here's what happens. There's security guard, and here's the characters. Let me tell you about the characters. So she has to know that, and that's all there. But everything with the security guard, with Hutcherson's brother abducted, and the sister, who, like I said, the parents, Josh Hutcherson's parents, had sex at 18 and then again at like 45. So, which is weird. 2 kids spread out that much, but it happens. Okay. But everything that's that is Emmy, I would assume. And it's not necessary. Why do people overwrite things? It's not hard. This shit is not. Thank you. Yes, Penne, welcome to the channel. You'll direct it for free. Anything would be better. Anything would be better than what we got. If they bring her back to direct and write the sequel, if they bring Emmy back and Seth Cudback back again to do this, if they do, I'm telling you, it'll be one of the biggest mistakes ever. I don't care if the movie is a huge hit. I don't care if it made 130 million worldwide while it was streaming. You do not bring back Emma Tammy to direct this again. You can have her direct it, but she sure as hell isn't writing it. There's no way that Emma Tammy is writing this sequel. There is a 0% chance. Let's listen to what Jason Blum has to say about the film. Here we go. Let's listen.
That's a great question. I think there's no video game more suited to our DNA in terms of the mythology, the storytelling, the genre.
Storytelling's terrible, Jason. It's literally absolutely atrocious what you did with this script and glomming on all the bullshit that doesn't need to be in this movie. So you, my friend, you might be a successful producer, but you suck at evaluation of scripts before they get produced. You're terrible at it.
It's a good horror movie for younger people, so that's why we chose this as our first one.
Then why, if it's a horror film for young people, which it is, it should be, why did you add all of that emotional baggage that brings the film to absolute snooze fest and makes you want to fall asleep in the theater? Can you tell me how that is good, Jason? How do you think that's good?
Animatronic character is your favorite?
We're not picking favorites.
We're not picking favorites.
We're certainly not based on the script.
Okay, then. What character from the Blumhouse universe would you add into the Five Nights at Freddy's world?
Megan.
What would she be doing?
Yeah, Megan would be great. If they added Megan, it would be fantastic because Megan had the right idea. It's not a fantastic film, right? It's certainly not, but it's funny. It's got more jokes than this. It's certainly more a better overall film, and yet we couldn't do that with this because of Emma. It's got to be Emma's fault. It has to be. I don't care if you guys are saying you're picking on a woman. I have enough things that I say. I have more than enough things that I've said about female directors, female writers, female actresses that I don't need to defend myself. I'm not going to defend myself. Emma Tammy, you are not a talented writer, not based on what I just watched. Because you didn't understand the assignment. The assignment is Five Nights at Freddy's. You are not writing a trauma film. I don't know what that other film was that she got, that got her on the radar. I'm sure that has a lot of what we saw in this film. That doesn't belong in this film. This film is about killer Chuck E. Cheese characters. That's it. And a security guard. You can saddle him with some kind of tragic backstory, but you don't need to give him a sister, and then she's in a custody battle, and then the brother, and going back in the dreams, and it's overthought. It's overthought. Just have the mythology of the boys who were abducted, have him tied in somehow, just bring it tighter. Tighten it up. Get rid of characters. Also, what's his ass is not good either. He's overacting. He doesn't sell it. Oh, the guy who plays the bad dude who has the turn at the end. What's his name? The guy's Matthew Lillard. He's hamming it up, but it's not the right guy. This film's terrible. This film is terrible outside of the creature design. It's a terrible film, and I'm telling you, I'm distraught that people think it's okay. I really am. I really believe that we have a major problem. No, I don't want to. Jen, I don't want it until it's done. I'm just going to promise you this. It's extremely grounded, and it will be very lean in character and just simple. It's going to be, I just watched a film the other night called Showing Up, and I finally watched it. It got a Gotham Awards nomination. It's A24, not Melissa Williams. What's her name? Michelle Williams. I want to talk about it in a few minutes, but I'm not done with Five Nights at Freddy. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. This film sucks. Saw Five Nights at Freddy's with my son. Dude was bored to tears. Hutcherson's a bad actor. He has no screen presence. Josh Hutcherson is boring as hell, and you wonder why he has never ascended past Hunger Games, because he doesn't bring anything to the table. He's not interesting. We talk about this all the time. There are actors who are interesting. Go watch The Exorcist Believer. You guys know that I like that film a lot. Who's fantastic in it? What's his ass? The guy from One Night in Miami. Oh God, Leslie Odom Jr. He's so good in that. He's got presence. Josh Hutcherson is snooze central. One of the worst films of the year, no question about it. The villain subplot window. Martin, it's not just that, it's terrible. Everything about this movie. Lillard's bad. Hutcherson's bad. The screenplay's a disaster. The only thing that works are the characters, and the characters got bent over and done with an animatronic dildo. That's how bad this is. Freddy and his gang did dirty by an animatronic dildo. That's it. The channel's over. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm just furious. Can you tell? How much would Josh Hutcherson have paid for this role? 100, 200, what, 50,000. I told you guys that Blumhouse is notorious for paying their people shit. So I guarantee they go, listen, you're going to be in this movie. It's going to be a big hit. It's Five Nights at Freddy's. We know everyone knew it was going to be a hit. It's not a surprise. But here's the thing, is that he didn't have any, like, they come to him. He's like, I'll take it. This is Josh Hutcherson sitting there waiting. His phone rings. What is it? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm in. You don't even want to hear you don't want to hear the script? No, I don't want to hear the script. I'm in. That's how, yes. I mean, that's literally how fast he would say yes, because it's not like anyone else wants him for anything. Guys, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. If sometimes it gets a little rough in here, it is what it is. It is what it effing is. I don't care anymore. I never did. It's directed by Fincher. Ari Aster is here. If this is directed by Fincher starring Brad Pitt, you would say you loved it. That's not true, Ari. That's so dumb. We need to break the stereotypes that men can direct. No, get out of here, Ari. I just, you want to watch a really well-directed film by a woman, it's a horror film, psychological horror, it's Saint Maud. Saint Maud rips this to shreds, and then, I almost said something that's even worse than what I said earlier. If you want to go for family dramas, maybe get a better actor than Hutcherson. Agreed. He doesn't do this thing any justice, any service whatsoever. He's an absolute detriment to the film. Little girl was exactly. The little girl looks like his daughter. She's like 20 years younger. Elizabeth Hale, the cop's hot. No, is that her name? She's totally hot. Which is totally, that also takes you out of the film, right? What's this hot chick? Why is she in the why is she a cop hanging out with the loser? She's like hanging out with Josh Hutcherson is a mega loser in this movie, right? First of all, Josh Hutcherson's like 5'1". So he's not, right? He's short. He's not attractive, right? No one would ever look at Josh Hutcherson and say, this is a good looking guy. He's the kind of guy you'd see walking, out of a movie and you'd be like, there's a guy. He's like, there's a short guy. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. He's short. He's not a good looking guy. I don't care if it's mean. That's the other thing. Maybe that's why these people think this movie's good, because the young kids out there can't ever say anything mean about someone. It can't be critical. You hurt someone's feelings. Don't do that. It's mean to somebody. They'll be hurt. How about this? When we grew up, people said shit to us. Bullies came after. I got bullied all the time, as you can tell. Here's the truth. It made me who I am. You get over it. You don't worry. I didn't cry about it every night. I go, I'm going to get stronger. I went into the basement and I started lifting weights when I was like 15. I'm like, let's do this shit. I want to look like Carrie Von Erich. Boom, gung, gung. And now I don't really, but I'm sort of try still. The point is words don't hurt you. If you let them, they do. People say shit about me all the time, and I go, whatever. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to take another W today. I don't even care. That's the point. You don't. Elizabeth Lale, whatever her name is. Exactly. Satvik. It should have been a closed encounter film inside the pizzeria. It's that simple. It's overwritten. The film should start with him walking in for the first night. Maybe, okay, here, fine. Let's just rewrite it right now. He walks in. You can keep Lillard, even though he's not good. Keep Lillard. The first scene is him walking in to get the job. Maybe we get a quick scene at the beginning where he loses his job. Obviously, he chases the man through the food court and then tackles him in the fountain. That doesn't even work. But the point is there's a way to have him fired from a job that's funny and then instantly. I don't even think you need that security guard at the beginning. The security guard at the beginning that he's going through the air duct, that security guard is hamming it up. Instantly, I'm taking out of the movie. I'm already out of it in the first bit. I know that I see things you guys don't. I get it, but that's my lot in life. I don't know what to tell you. That security guard's like, this is how he's playing it. Watch. Dude, we are not making a comedy. We're trying to make a horror film. Yes, I understand that it is killer Chuck E. Cheese characters, but still, from the first scene, she shows no talent as a director. Now, I actually said she was okay the other day, but now I'm actually rethinking everything. Because part of a director's job is to tell that security guard, tone it down, dude. He's like, just go like this. Go. Just down. Fucking modulate down. I'm so tired of everyone's level at 11 like me tonight. Too high. Let me bring it down to an 8. God almighty. Tell me it's not terrible from the first part. It's terrible from the beginning. The movie gets worse and worse the more I think about it. So Vanessa's in the game. Okay, fine. That's fine. So she's in the game. Then don't make her so hot. Matthew, think about this. Do you understand these are little things? I know what I'm talking about seems minuscule, but at the end of the day, it's not minuscule. Fun word to say. It is very important because it starts to erode the film because you have this girl who's way too hot to be a cop. Like, no one's ever seen a cop that looks like that, unless it's a strip of cop, right? That's the only, so you have this girl, she's too hot. Randolph said a lot more stupid stuff than that quote. She actually said that quote. Did she really say that quote? That if this weren't based on a famous game, it'd be an Oscars contender? How does she have 1 million subscribers? Can you guys help me? How? Can you tell? It proves to me that people are really stupid because, honest to God, it's embarrassing. She has 500 times. She has 500 times the audience. I don't think that's right. I think it's more than that, Phantom, isn't it? 2005. She has 1 million. No, it's like 5,000 times. Bo's afraid in the whale. Thank you, Martin. I know. You know I'm right. I'm right all the time. My 14-year-old niece, Alex, welcome to the channel. Been texting me all day about how it was the greatest movie. You called your sister, disown her, at a minimum, send her away to the army awaiting the response. Seriously, Alex, that's sad. You need to, first of all, the first thing you need to do is get your 14-year-old niece in front of a good film. I would put her right in front of a Saint Maud. Just make her sit down and watch Saint Maud. She might be like, what the hell's going on? But the point is here's what I believe. I believe that if you let people watch quality films, they are going to, one way or another, they're going to realize they're watching elevation, and they will suddenly start to see shit like Five Nights at Freddy's for the garbage it is. Because once you've seen an Ad Astra, the filmmaking of an Ad Astra, once you've seen a Tar, once you've seen, go back at any classic film that stand the test over time, any film that's good, you're going to start to go, okay, this is garbage. That's the whole point that I talk about all the time about being a film critic and doing this for as long as I have now, over a decade. When you start to watch so many films, you get better at it. When I started doing this way back in Boston in like 2011, so over a decade now, I wasn't as good because you get better. Your skills progress. They should evolve. They should, I'm not the same person I was even a week ago. I mean, sort of, but you know what I mean? Over the years, you change. So here's the point. You get better. And trust me, she'll get better. Right now, she doesn't know, but trust me, she will know. AI, no, because AI would do, this is too much. I think AI would, it's overwritten for AI. It's someone trying too hard with something they didn't need to. At first, I thought Josh Hutcherson was Badger from Breaking Bad. The script was not bad. Byron, you're so wrong. Is that my boy Byron? Is that a different Byron? You're so wrong. It's so terrible. This script's terrible. Among a few films making me want to pay double to get my time back, along with the likes of Mr. Deeds, Kung Pao Under the Fist, and I didn't even see some of these. I don't think I saw Mr. Deeds or Kung Pao, but Jose, it's terrible. It's really a bad. Chat GPT would actually write a better script, no question, no, not even a question about it. I can't believe how much time we spent away from the pizzeria and the incredible, exactly, overcomplicated, exactly, Sully, you get it. Someone else gets this shit. It's crazy when you watch a film and you're sitting in an audience and they're going, oh my God, it's so great. And they're only focusing on the animatronics. They're focusing on the characters. There's more to the movie than just that. I know you're excited to see Freddy Fazbear in person, but you have to demand a script that doesn't suck total ass like this. And Sully, you get it. Thank you. God, it makes me feel so much better when someone else understands this shit. How to fix the movie. Make it an hour and a half, 100%. Exactly. Remove the sister and the guard. One person stuck inside getting chased. Do you see? But here's the thing, Martin. This is the problem with Hollywood. Jason Blum clearly doesn't understand this. Make it simple. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. That's it. It's not hard. Why did you put all this shit in the movie? Why did you do this? Why did you ruin it? You ruined the film. Now you're going to let her, Emmy, you're going to let her write the sequel and destroy another Five Nights at Freddy? Five Nights at Freddy fans should be out in the streets in front of Universal tomorrow morning like it looked like SAG and WGA strike. There should be thousands of people outside of Universal demanding that she not direct the sequel because she fucked this one up so bad. She has to go. I will organize it. We'll meet there. I have no problem with it. If I can get 50 people to show up, I will lead a protest outside of Universal at some point tomorrow where we will demand that she not direct or let's just say write the sequel. I am up for that. If you guys are, I will do it. I have no problem whatsoever with Yank. Just let's do it. Oh my God. Well, I don't even remember what the quote was. It was something about they were done by an animatronic dildo. Yeah, whatever. He's younger than me. No way. Josh Hutcherson is not. I'm in better shape than Josh Hutcherson. I know that. He's like 3 feet tall. Oh no. Now Weber's making fun of short people. I'm not 7 feet tall. I'm like 5'11". It's not short. It's not tall. It's like in between. I'm in between, you know? I know. Now I'm doing Sebastian Maniscalco. God, that movie sucked too, but it still wasn't as bad as Five Nights at Freddy's. Now that movie was fucking terrible, man. She is unwatchable, Donald. Some would say I'm unwatchable, and that's fair. I think that's. I'll admit to that. I'll own up to it. Look up Vanessa on the new game. You'll see why they made her look that way. Oh wait, the Vanessa. Hold on, let's look her up. Let's see, Vanessa, Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, wait a second. Is she in the game? Oh, my bad. Okay. Oh, what? What? She looked like this in the game? This guy's kind of a creep. Who's the guy who made the game? Like, how come no one's calling this dude out for making his video game character look like this? She's got like a D-rack, right? But she has red hair, though. But why does she have to look like that in the game? That's not what security guards look like. You guys are like, what is Weber on about tonight? What security guard have you ever seen in your life that looks like that? Like anywhere? You never have. Maybe if there was like security guard at the strip club, right? If there was an Adriana Chechik, then I would be, if she would have played the security guard, I would have loved the film. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If Adriana Chechik was, for those of you who know, give me a thumbs up right now. I would say Five Nights at Freddy was 5 out of 5 animatronic dildos. If this channel's over, we are getting demonetized. We are getting everything after tonight's stream. All the kids are off the stream. They're like, Weber's lost his mind. Yeah, Sully, I know. I guess you're a Boston guy. If I ever get to Boston, we got to have a beer for sure. By the way, Sully, I checked out your channel. You came up and I looked, and I like it. I like it a lot because you know what? You see films like me, so I'm like, I like this dude. Check out Sully Streams. Sully Streams kills us in subscribers too. So, I mean, who doesn't at this point? I didn't start in Orlando in the news. Then I've been all over. I used to be a TV news guy, which was weird. I didn't get to say things like animatronic dildos. That would get me fired. Well, here it'd probably get me fired too. Channel disappears, so be it. David Gordon Green's wishing he made this instead of that. No, get out of here. Yeah, from a box office. But listen, Exorcist is a million times better than this film. Million. Okay, Grace Randolph thinks this is an Oscar contender. I got other things I got to talk about, but actually I'm just having so much fun. Oh my God, Adriana Chechik, right? Oh my God. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I saw Adriana Chechik in person, I would probably lose my mind. Like I would. I told you I'm a very happily single guy. I'm just like I just want to be left alone. Ultimately, can you tell by the channel? I just like doing my thing and going home and going to bed. But if Adriana Chechik wanted to hang out, I would hang out with her. I'm not. I mean, who? I mean, come on. I mean, yeah. Absolutely, Sully. You got it. I love it. Five Nights at Freddy's creator. No, listen, listen, Byron, I understand that he co-wrote it, but I think that here's the thing though. Do we know how much? We don't know how much. I'd like to know whose idea was it to give the security guard a brother who was abducted, which is problematic. It doesn't need to be there, but let's just say to connect the characters. I understand. Okay. And who had the sister and the custody battle? Whose idea? Let's just start with that. Let's just make it simple. Whose idea was the sister who's 20 years younger, looks like the daughter, and the custody battle with what's her name, Masterson from Some Kind of Wonderful, which is one of my favorite films of the 80s. Totally underrated. Whose idea was the sister and the custody battle? You're fired. It's over. You're done. And if it was Emmy, you're never coming back. I don't care if it was Scott. I don't care whoever. You can fire the guy who made the game because you added a sister who's 20 years younger so that you could have her come into the whole idea of her. First of all, how stupid is this? I can't. I think I was going to talk about so many other things tonight. It's Halloween. I want to talk about horror films. I'm so angry at this movie. I'm still going off. This is multiple streams that I have wanted to tear down every part of this film. It's so uniquely atrocious that I can't let it go, and I will not let it go. It's my new Beau is Afraid, and it's not manufactured. Everything you're hearing tonight is true because authentic, because the movie is one of the worst adaptations in the history of film. Based on what you were handed, we got a truly wretched film. If I move on to showing up, you're all gonna leave. You're all gonna leave. I suffered into she's terrible. She really is. It would, Martin, it'd be really good. Because here's the thing, Dan, thanks, but it's true. I can go any which way. That came out the weird. Whatever. All right, let's move on from Five Nights at Freddy's. I just, again, one more time, never seen a security guard like that. If I did, well, first of all, I would have hired Adriana Chechik to play the role. That's the first thing I would have. Let's move on. I can't. Let's actually do a whack film review spotlight because it's time. We'll find somebody who loved this film. There's got to be somebody. And I want to get your underrated horror films in a minute too. I saw Showing Up. I saw. Oh, by the way, check this out. Hold on, before I show you this, I'm going to show you guys something. Look what I got tonight when I saw The Holdovers for the second time. I got a T-shirt that says Entre Nous. Now, if you've seen the film, you guys know what this is all about. Look on the back. It says The Holdovers. And I actually am considering giving this away to a viewer because it's going to be like a contest. Because first of all, it's too big. I like my shirts to be medium, and this is a large. So, but I'm going to talk about the holdovers in a second. Just a second. Because I like it even more on second viewing. Just give me a second. Let's do a odorous review. How many times have I said odorous tonight? Here we go, guys. Let's find somebody who thinks this is a good film. This is what we call the WAC Film Review Spotlight, everybody. It's at 25% tomato meter. This is why I raged for the first... How long did we rage there on this? About 40 minutes? Holy crap! I've been raging on this movie for 50 minutes. The stream's almost over. I had somebody... Oh, my God. I've been destroying Five Nights at Freddy's for, honestly, 45 minutes. That's insane. And I'm still going. Five Nights at Freddy's. Look, 89% audience. At least 11% has some clue, but at least critics are at 25. Let's find a critic who thought it was good. Here we go. Here, let's go. Uh-oh. David Riedel of the Chicago Reader. I almost said Chicago Sun. What the hell is a Chicago Reader? Emma Tammy's horror mystery film isn't perfect, but it's compelling. No, it's not. And scary. No, scary. What? Who is this guy? He's banned. I don't ever want to hear anything from him ever again. Here's Luke Thompson from the AV Club. He's a big-time critic, isn't he? It's a fun It's not fun. It's a fun gateway horror movie for kids. Did you see Willy's Wonderland, Luke? Did you see it? Watch it. It's a hell of a lot more fun than this. And easily scared and want to test the limits. It's not for kids. Kids don't want to sit through a movie that talks about who has custody of the sister and then the Josh Hutcherson taking his drugs so he can go to bed at night so he can dream of his brother who's abducted and save him from the 5 kids in the woods. No one wants to watch that, Luke. Who are you? Do you have kids? Luke clearly doesn't have kids. Luke Thompson does not have kids with that. Because I have kids, and they would hate this movie when they were little. They're a little older now. They'd hate it. They'd say this movie's terrible. Like Teletubbies with chainsaws. Yes, 1 out of 5. Good job, Kevin Maher from the Times UK. These are all negatives. Hold on. I don't want to read the review. No one reads reviews. They just look at the blurbs. I have reviews on here, and no one ever read them. Oh, shit. Mama's Geeky's here. One of the biggest shills on planet Earth. Mama's Geeky, Tessa Smith. It isn't perfect. Far from it. That's how, by the way, that's how these shills get away with shit. They say it isn't perfect, far from it, but try to tell that to kids who love Five Nights at Freddy's, and they will have thousands of reasons why you are wrong. Tessa, there's a movie attached to the animatronics, and everything but the animatronics is horrible. Tessa Smith, terrible. I've said this before, and I'm saying it again. Tessa Smith is everything that's wrong with film criticism. Everything. Tessa Smith, Eric Davis, Brandon Davis, all three. I have 2 white dudes and a woman, so you can't all come after me. Tessa Smith is one of the reasons why criticism is in the shitter, because she is out there shilling for everything. Literally likes everything. Let's see. Hold on. Let's pop her up. Let's see. Let's have a look at what I didn't want to do. Okay, fine. Whatever. Let's just go. I didn't plan on doing this, but we're going to do it. We're going to morph straight into the shill of the week. We haven't done one in a while. So here we go. Hold on. I got to type her name in because I still have the other guy in there from forever ago. We haven't done one. It's time to give it to her again. This is, I believe, her second title for the shill of the week. It's Tessa Smith, everybody. Or you might know her because she's world famous as Mama's Geeky. That's who she is. She's Mama's Geeky. By the way, she has a YouTube channel. I'm sure that's amazing. I'm sure she has more subscribers. That's for sure. So that she has. Okay. Let's count the fresh movies, everybody. Fresh. Everybody, tell me when you see a rotten. Fresh. Holy shit. Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. It's 1 negative. Fresh. 1 negative. Last Video Store. What the hell is that? Fresh. Fair Play. I heard that's terrible. She finally fresh. Equalizer 3. That's 1 for her. Fresh. And she didn't like Last Voyage of Demeter, but that's it. In Meg 2, how could you? She still is a shill. I'm not going to move off of that. I'm not moving off yet. Probably will. Donald, you were here that night when we called out Eric Davis, and all of a sudden, guys, if you weren't there, Someone tell me what stream that was. I got to go find. We were doing a shill of the week, and it was Eric Davis, and all of a sudden, this is no joke, all of a sudden, all of the reviews disappeared. You guys were there. You know it. You just said, Donald will hook it up. He told you it's what happened. All of a sudden, all the reviews disappeared. We're like, what happened to Eric Davis' review? It was live. Shills are a big part of the reason why we are getting low quality films. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Me, Schlacker. I think that's a good casting suggestion. Mia Malkova. She's hot. I don't know any of these people. I'm just pretending I know who they are. Wink. Byron, I swear to you, it's terrible. Byron, they like the animatronics. The movie's terrible. It's a terrible film. I'm right. I'm 100% right. All right, I'm done with, I can't do any more Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's talk about some other things. We're almost an hour into here. I don't want to go too much over. We did a show of the week. We did terrible takes or whatever I call it. All right, let's go to, okay, I'm going to get, right now, come in with your most underrated horror films. I don't know if I'm going to do a stream on Tuesday. I might be out trick-or-treating, going over to Toogle Lake, hanging out. It's awesome over there. I'll send pictures. But give me your most underrated horror film. I'll tell you mine in a minute, but I want to go over a few things before we get to that. First of all, Killers of the Flower Moon. It is bombing, man. This thing's down 61% in weekend two. We're talking about $84 million worldwide. $200 million film. Remember, $200 million, you need to make at least budget times 2, 2.5, almost 3. Let's call it $500 million it needs to make in box office to become profitable for Apple. Now, I understand Apple has a ton of money to burn. That's not what we're discussing. We're also discussing, yes, it's going to be an Oscars movie. They paid to have the prestige of Scorsese. I'm only drilling down on the fact that this film is a $200 million film that's made $84 million. It is not performing like Oppenheimer. I thought it could at least do half of Oppenheimer. Maybe it could do like a third of Oppenheimer. It's not going to do a tenth of Oppenheimer. Right now, it is about a tenth. Maybe it does a ninth. I mean, this film is not doing well. Why do you think? Come in with comments. Let me know, but don't spin it any other way. This film is not doing well. Okay, let's talk about Holdovers. I saw it again tonight, second time. I love the film more the second time. Again, if you just joined us, I got this amazing shirt, which I'm more than willing to give away to you guys. Entre nous, which is from the Holdovers. They say this back and forth. Giamatti with, what's the kid's name? He's great. Scotta. I forget the kid's name. He's really good. Okay, first time I've seen him. I think it's his debut. I will give this away because it's too big for me and I need to give some things away. I have too much shit in here that I don't need. I don't want any of these things other than these. I like these. That's it. And, of course, what? My football shirts. By the way, tonight, I picked this one out for Halloween. Is this not like the one? Atletico Morelia from Liga MX Expansión. This is from a really small league in Mexico, the second division. And it's got a badass, like emblazed fire flower thing going on here. I love it. And lots of sponsors. You guys know I love lots of sponsors. The Eric Davis stream was amazing. Okay, let's get to Giamatti because this is very important. It needs to be said, and I need to be on the record. Paul Giamatti better win Best Actor at the Oscars. If he does not, we are going to have 2 years in a row where the best performance, male or female, across the board goes winless. Last year, Cate Blanchett, Tar. This year, Paul Giamatti in Holdovers. If he does not win, it will be the biggest disgrace the Oscars has had back-to-back since awarding Coda and Everything Everywhere Best Picture. So actually, it's keeping in fashion with what's happened there lately. Giamatti deserves this win. He's better than Murphy. He's better than Leo. And there's other contenders. Those are the two main contenders that Paul has against him. If Giamatti does not win for the Holdovers, we have done it dirty 2 years in a row. It is a Blanchett level performance. It's a different performance than Tar, no question. But what he does, the indelible character that he creates in the Holdovers, deserves an Oscar. The film itself is a Best Picture contender. There's not a question after seeing it a second time. Screenplay, direction, cinematography, just in the basic, I know it's not flashy, but the way that he shoots the film, it looks like it's 1970. The way that Payne puts all of the audio through the front, just like you'd watch a film in the 70s. There's no surround in that film. Everything from The Holdovers, which you'll get to see this week, New York, LA, 200,000 this weekend out of 6 screens. Decent showing. Let's see how it does. You guys need to get out and support this film. It's one of the best films of the year. It's not even a contest. I love The Holdovers across the board in virtually every single category. It is a player for me in Giamatti, the headline act, the best performance of 2023. No question whatsoever. You need to go see this film. The Holdovers is yet another example of the importance of film grain. 100%. This is a great comment, Johnny. I could not agree with you more. It makes a difference. It's a big deal, that aesthetic, and that is what Payne creates here. When he creates this world that's set in 1970, he creates the film as if it's 1970. The shots, right? The edits, the sound design from front, that's it. Nothing on the sides. All of that, these are little things, these touches, exquisite stuff. And that is what makes this film next level. And that is another perfect example what we're talking about, the look of the film. He shot it like it's a 70s film, all the way down to the opening Focus Features 70s looking logo, which Focus Features didn't exist in the 70s. They created that for the film. These are touches that matter. The aesthetics of this film are what set it apart and make it even better than it should be because of the attention to detail by Alexander Payne. 100%. I don't agree with you. Cillian Murphy is not better than Giamatti because Giamatti has to do more with his role. I will agree that Murphy certainly is amazing in the film. There's no arguing that he is one of the best performers of the year. Murphy in Oppenheimer. But the range that he has to show is smaller than the range you have to see out of Giamatti. Giamatti creates a character that you want to hang out with and have a beer with, right? And I know that's not what Oppenheimer was trying to do, but when you create a character that you believe it's four-dimensional, when you watch Giamatti in The Holdovers, I believe I'm watching a teacher at a boarding school in Vermont and his relationship with the kids. That is the magic of what he does, and it's a better performance. I'm not saying that Murphy isn't stellar. I'm just telling you that Giamatti is better. Is that right? No, it's not. Is that the same Giamatti? I didn't even know that. You've got to see The Holdovers. Go see it. I have not seen Jeffrey Wright. I wanted to get into American Fiction today, and I actually RSVP'd late, and they go, we don't have any seats. Fine, I'll see it. It comes out in December. It's no big deal for me this year. This year with award season, I'm not freaking out on some of these films. I haven't seen Poor Things, American Fiction. Those are the two I really want to see. And then I'm not watching any Netflix films, so I'm just not panicking. I don't, at the end of the day, they're movies. If I have to see them at the Burbank 8, I'm not like some of these people that drive all over the city because they want to see it first. Because ultimately, it's like, unless you are, think about this, unless you are honestly using that content. So in other words, when I saw Holdovers, I saw it like a month ago, and you guys know I did that reaction. Fine, I used that content. A lot of people go to these movies, they just go to the movie. They don't even do anything with it. I'm like, why are you driving all over town to watch a movie first? Like, it's weird. This town is really weird how people are like that. Sometimes I'll put like, I'm going to see a movie that's not out yet, and I get direct message people. Oh, who's the person? Who can I contact? I'm like, settle down. It's a movie. Why are you freaking out? It's a film. You'll see it. In fact, if anything, I'd actually rather see it closer to when it drops because, look, The Holdovers is coming out now. I talked about The Holdovers on that reaction stream back a month ago. You guys already forgot about it. Now that it's out, I want to support it. That's why I went back in this weekend and saw it. It's great. It's the best film I've seen this year. Better than Killers of the Flower Moon, especially on second watch, just because of the emotional, you like this film. There's no way to dislike The Holdovers. And I think there's a few issues with it, but it's not enough to not highly recommend you go out and see this film. And it's very important you support these films. It's very important to support a Killers of the Flower Moon and a Holdovers because these are adult dramas that are suffering in the marketplace. We have to get out there. Five Nights at Freddy's, we get that kind of crap all the time. Go out and see if you want. I'm all about theatrical. Go support movies in theaters. But these little films need it more. So when The Holdovers comes to your town, you need to see it. It's no question one of the best of the year. We'll get to your best underrated horror films in a moment. Couple more on that. I want to talk just quickly Emotion Cooper, yes, he's in, even though I'm not going to watch it. Domingo is in for Rust, and those are 2 Netflix films I'm not watching. Wright, Giamatti, Murphy. It's going to be hard to leave Leo out, even though I can see a world that doesn't happen. It's going to be very hard to leave him out. Okay, I want to talk about Showing Up quickly, because this is a film that I really liked. When you go back to First Cow, I love films that are very minimal. You guys know that. I talk about it all the time. I love a film that is very character-based and very minimal in direction, in edits, in feel, almost documentary, cinema verite. I adore that stuff. So when I watch Showing Up, I put it off. Michelle Williams, A24 film. It'd been forever since that film came out. It came out earlier this year, and I never got around to seeing the film. So then it got an award nomination at Gotham, and I said, oh, come on, really? So I said, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch Showing Up. I watched it a couple of nights ago, and I got to tell you, I really like the film. Now, there's a major problem with the film. When you watch Showing Up, it's the story of an artist who lives in Portland, and she is an assistant, not even a teacher. She's an assistant to her mother, who works at the college that's an art college in Portland area. And then her friend, who it turns out to be her landlord, is a talented artist too, and she's a struggling artist. And it's about the relationship between someone who struggles and toils away and doesn't get the notoriety as much as, say, someone that is familiar to you, and how that kind of eats at you. And you're like, hey, I'm here too. I love that aspect. There's a problem with the film. And this is interesting. For those of you who haven't seen Showing Up, I'm only going to mention it quickly because I want you to watch it, because I love the direction. I love the screenplay, really just streamlined. I think there's a major issue with the film. And here's how I know that I'm pretty good at what I do. And I'm going to explain this. I knew nothing about Showing Up other than Michelle Williams. She was a struggling artist. I watched it about halfway through, not even halfway through. There's something that happens in the film. It involves a pigeon. And when that happens, I went, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing with the pigeon? Okay. And then I thought, okay, that's kind of a scene that, I don't even know. Here's the problem. The pigeon turns out to be a major part of the movie, and it doesn't work. Right? It doesn't work. There's a better way to glom the two of them together without having this pigeon. I know you guys haven't watched Showing Up. You're like, what are you talking? I'm going to talk about some films that have unnecessary plot devices. And when you look at this pigeon, there's no reason to have it. Now, here's why I say I'm good at what I do. When I got done watching the film, which I recommend, Showing Up, A24, Michelle Williams, go check it out. Director of First Cow, which is, I'm drawing a blank on her name. Where's First Cow? It's up here somewhere. Kelly Reichardt. So good. Okay, as a director, I love what she does. Okay, so when I watched the trailer, I said, let me watch the trailer. I'm going to see what they did with the trailer. Here's how I know I'm good at what I do. I watched Showing Up. Pigeon doesn't work. Pigeon doesn't work. This isn't, I don't know, why is the pigeon in here? When I watched the trailer, guess what is not in the trailer at all? There's no mention of the pigeon. The pigeon is a big part of the movie, but there's no mention at all of the pigeon, like not even a frame. That told me I was dead on, because what do they do with trailers? They make the trailer based on test screening reactions, and then they create the trailer based on what people really liked about the film. And the fact that there was no pigeon in the trailer told me I was dead on again with another evaluation. That's not, no one liked it. Oh, man. I'm telling you, I know this. Listen, I get that what I just told you is really inside film criticism. It's very weird. But I needed to explain that to you, because when I watched it, I go, that's a great teachable moment, that your instincts are usually correct. And my instincts are right about this film. Go watch Showing Up. It's pretty good. I love a lot of it, but it's not a perfect film. I also like the score at the beginning. There's only a score like in a tiny little bit of it, but it's really cool. It's got a good mood to it. It's got a good feel to it. And that gets back to Kelly Reichardt, who has had so many great films over the years, going back to First Cow, certainly the most recent. But I'm going to go back and watch some of her films. I've missed a lot of her films, but she is the kind of filmmaker. That's what I like to watch. And I know that doesn't resonate with some of you, Five Nights at Freddy, or, you're here watching, the blockbusters or the horror films that we break down that are like, obviously all audience kind of things. But my mission here when I started the channel is to get you to watch some of these films that will take you outside your comfort zone, and then maybe you'll start to see that there's more to this film world than where you are. And I know a lot of you already are there, and I love that fact. It's very cinephile, but yet we can still appreciate a movie done well, not Five Nights at Freddy, but a good blockbuster or a good horror film that is still mainstream accessible, and then turn around and watch a Showing Up, watch a Holdovers, watch a film, Tar, certainly an After Sun, Decision to Leave, just films, off the top of my head, St. Maud, these films that I love, Shoplifters, obviously a Parasite, just going back over the films that I have adored over the past several years. We want you to watch those films because you're going to start to say, this is good. This is what good cinema is. Okay. All right. We'll go a little bit longer tonight. I know I went on forever about, about Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's just real quickly, I'm going to do Netflix Sucks. Then I'm going to do Underrated Horror Film. Then I'm going to give you my must see because it's Halloween. I need to give that to you. I don't think I'm going to do a stream on Tuesday. I just want to do it all tonight and be like, take a break. These things take a lot of bandwidth, so I'm about out tonight. Let's do it. Netflix Sucks. Why? Because of this. Did you guys see? I was watching Sunday Night Football, Chargers and Bears. It wasn't a good game. But here's what I saw. I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, my God, there's a commercial for The Killer, which is, of course, from one of my favorite directors, Fincher. I mean, who doesn't love David Fincher? But when I watched it, here's a shot. Look, here's the shot from Sunday Night Football. Wait, let me hit the right thing. And so it said The Killer. So seconds after it said The Killer, and it was like the whole trailer, it says watch in theaters. And I was like, yeah, you suck, Netflix. Because as I say in the tweet, watch The Killer in theaters. Asterisk. Good luck finding the theater near you showing it, right? Because they don't do AMC. They do like one Regal. I think there's one Regal in downtown that agreed to show it. But they don't have it wide. They don't have it for you wherever you are. If you're in New York or in LA, you can find it. I'm talking about even Chicago. Someone said it's shown on 2 screens in Chicago. This is a Fincher movie. Netflix sucks. Really sucks. I would never work with Netflix. Never. They could give me, here's $2 million. I don't want it. I know you don't believe me, guys. I'm telling you, I'm a man of principle. I would not accept a job from Netflix. Not they're offering, trust me. The only job I accept from Netflix is to go in there, fire 50% of the creatives because they have no idea what they're doing. I would get a new studio head. Scott Stuber's out because clearly he has no control of the directors. I would go in and gut that place. On a theatrical level, gut, you're gone, out, goodbye, you're out. I'd be like Ari from Entourage, goodbye, you're out, all of you, you're all out of work. And I'm going to bring in people that know what they're doing, and clearly none of you do. And I'd start with a theatrical team. Bring me in someone who did distribution for Universal. Hire that guy. That's what they used to do. Netflix poached all these people. Give me the theatrical guy at Universal, or girl, it doesn't matter. I just say guy like just person, okay? Bring him in. Let's go. Right? Let's go. Okay, let's talk about your underrated horror films. You guys ready? Here we go. I got some comments in there. Let me go back. I'm going to tell you mine, and then I will give you guys have the floor. You can do whatever you want to do with it, whatever you think's underrated. Maybe it's something that I have never seen. Maybe it's something none of us have seen. Tell us. Here's mine. We've talked about it before. It is 2016's The Void. This is a film, I try to keep things fairly recent. We could obviously go back into, I know not many of you have seen The Void, so this is a perfect film we're talking about. This is a weird film. This is very thingy. Let me go some pictures. I don't want to show a trailer. I'll get hit with a copyright strike, even though I'm like trying to sell the movie. So it's like a cult kind of thing. It's got like this weird cult thing going on at a hospital. It's got a lot of stuff going on. Check out these. So they're inside of a hospital. All these weird dudes with these triangles show up, and they stand outside like a cult. It's really a cool. I don't know why they have a million pictures of this guy with a gun. I just lost it. But you guys need to watch. That's my pick. It is The Void. Who directed that film? Has he done anything else? Give me a second. Let me look. The director of that film, has he made another film? Jeremy Gillespie. Oh, wait, shit. Did they make that movie from this year? Hold on, give me a second. No, they haven't. What? How have the guys from The Void not made another movie? Do you see? This is what I want to. This is why I want to be a studio executive. I would, Steven, because let's see if he's done anything. Okay, VHS. This person did Psycho Gorman. Okay. So there's two of them, and Steven Kotsansky, I guess, went on. He did Psycho Gorman. Okay, good. At least the guys work, because that's a good movie. Psycho Gorman's cool too. Psycho Gorman's like the movie that Five Nights at Freddy's should have been. Watch Psycho Gorman. All right, let's get some of your picks right now. Let's get some of your horror films. Jeepers Creepers is unbelievable. 100% underrated. I couldn't agree more with you, Gone Girl, about that. The first Jeepers Creepers is, listen, it's hard with, masterpiece. It's one of the best horror films of the past several decades. Because why is Jeepers Creepers so spectacular? Because it is centered on two characters. It's not Five Nights at Freddy's with all of this bullshit you don't need. It's a brother and a sister on a road trip home from college, and the creeper attacks them, and then they have to survive. Ultimately, as you guys know, one of them doesn't. That film works because it's simple. And then the second one, we have a bunch of kids on a bus. It gets bad. The third one's unwatchable. Fourth one, I started and I go, this is terrible. The first film, whatever you say about Victor Salva, and I understand there's a lot of troubling shit about him. Listen, when we talk about these things, we're not talking, I understand one of the tenets that we founded this channel on is the ability to extract talent from trouble. And we talk about a Harvey Weinstein. We talk about a Chris Benoit. We talk about a Victor Salva here. When you look at him and apparently what he did is monstrous, okay? But from a writer and direction standpoint of Jeepers Creepers, it's a very good film. I could not agree with you more. Oh, my God, Martin. Oh, it's so bad. So bad. I've never seen Road Games. Thank you, John. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for recommendations I can check out. I never got around to Christine either. Thank you. I will watch it. I love haunted car movies. Name another one. But seriously, I want some recommendations out of this. I'm gonna, especially with the next couple of nights coming up, I have time to watch some things, and it's a perfect time. And when you're gonna watch horror films. Over the years, I gotta say, now I see virtually every single film that comes out that's horror. I started that VHS 85 and I turned it off because it didn't look. It looked like a VHS movie, like a camcorder. I didn't want to watch that night, but I see everything, guys. If it's in a theater and it's horror, I see it. House of the Devil, I still haven't seen. I saw The Innkeepers from Ty West, but Others is a very good film. Good call. Didn't see Martyrs. Thank you, John. Annihilation, I would say it's tangential horror, right? It's sci-fi horror, I agree. Cool movie, definitely divisive. Didn't love the film, love the score, love the idea, and some of the shots, right? Cinematography on that, really cool. But yeah, Frailty, man, disturbing fucking movie. The Funhouse is fantastic. Tobe Hooper's, what a good film. The Funhouse, what a call emotion. That is such a cool film, right? The kids go on the ride. Five Nights at Freddy's. They go in. It's so simple. They go to the carnival. There's the Funhouse, and inside the Funhouse is the legitimate, like, aborted baby, right? I mean, essentially, isn't it like it's some kind of like super creepy creature abortion guy? I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's like the scariest dude you've ever seen. He lives inside the Funhouse. It's so cool. That's a great call and emotion. I might watch that again tomorrow. And it's, picks them off one by one inside the Funhouse. Great suggestion, everybody. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Session 9, not recent. One I recommend for atmosphere and creepiness, not The Shining, though. Any horror film that excels in, and I'm going to use one right now, that you talk about excelling in setting, in atmosphere. Is there a better atmospheric horror film than John Carpenter's The Fog? There's my other pick. I know a lot of you probably seen it. Did I tell you the time I was shopping here in Burbank? I went to the Vons down the street, and I was going in, and I saw a car with a bumper sticker. Now, for those of you who love The Fog, it was the radio station. What was the name of it? Where Adrienne Barbeau, she's like 95.5. We play where the loops, right? It was the bumper sticker for the radio station in The Fog, and I was like, I need to meet this person. This is my soulmate. I should have waited by the car. The radio station in The Fog bumper sticker. That is my kind of person right there. That's legit. Not Five Nights at Freddy. The radio station in The Fog. All right, let's keep going. What else we have? Underrated horror films. The Skin I Live In. Possessor. Don't like Possessor. You know why, Jose? Because they blow the kid's head off at the end. Don't like that. Anytime a kid gets any kind of child violence, I'm not into. It takes me out. When Evil Lurks. I liked a lot of that film. I saw it. I like Evil Lurks for so many things, but then there's a lot of things I don't like about it, but it's definitely savage. No question about it. The Orphanage. Atmosphere. 100%. Pan's Labyrinth. Come on. I mean, yeah, 100%. What? People haven't watched Pan's Labyrinth? What? No Love. Oh, God. That Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is terrible. What a bad film. The movie made money. It was like cost nothing, and they had it like Fathom Events was sold out. The Fog is my second pick. Christine. Yeah, I'll watch Christine now because I never saw it. Now, if you're going to put Christine and The Fog in the same thing, then we're good. Like, I'm watching that. The original Martyrs, one of the most impactful horror films I've ever seen. Ask anyone. I got to see it. I'm going to watch it. I can't wait. Here's the truth though. Any kind of horror film that's like super unsettling, which I mean the best horror films are, and disturbing, then I like. Well, first of all, as long as it's not hostile, I don't want to watch that shit. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch Human Centipede. I want to watch scary. I want to watch menacing. I want to watch with a little bit of fun, right? That's why the Funhouse is a fantastic call. 100%. Don't make me defend Skinamarink here. Did I tell you? Hold on, let me find Skinamarink. I was going to show you this. I'm going to show you the trailer one more time. I might get in trouble for this, but the stream's almost over, so I don't even care. This is a great example since we're here on this, almost Halloween. This will be our Halloween show. This is what I talk when we talk about aesthetics, right? Cinema, film aesthetics. This film has it, and that's why I dug Skinamarink, at least for the first 30, 45 minutes.
In this house.
Do you hear like the crack, right? It's like the dated film from 1970, whatever this was. It's got atmosphere, so much atmosphere, this film. And even though I understand how some of you really didn't like Skinamarink, as an exercise, an experimental film, which is exactly what this film is, it worked for me for the first minutes. Then it starts to out where it's welcome. But I highly recommend you watch at least some of it to get an idea. I love where this director's head is at, and I would hire this guy to make another film. No question about it. No question. This is talent. This is a very interesting take on a haunted house story, right? Very abstract, very experimental, and not for everybody. Soup Can, I like Skinamarink, but I'm biased because it was filmed near where did they film that? Can you tell me, Soup Can? I don't know where they filmed it. I know he did it for like $10,000, but it's a really cool film. I mean, just listen to the thing. Just watch. This is what you get for like an hour and a half. What you're watching. Weird cartoon.
In this house.
Kids walking around the house. It's just cool, man. It's got a great vibe. It's got a very cool vibe. Edmonton, Alberta. Nice. Well, greetings from LA to Canada. Good to have you here tonight. All right. I do want to leave you, though, before we go here. It's been an amazing stream. This is a fun one. I'm glad we went long, and that means I had fun. I mean, 45 minutes of savaging Five Nights at Freddy's. Must see tonight. You guys ready for this? It's weird. Like, sometimes in life, do you ever like forget things and then all of a sudden you remember them and you're like, oh my God. Okay. So I was a little kid and my dad had a Super 8 projector, right? Super 8 film, not the movie, we had Super 8 back then. He had the actual the camera, but he also had a projector. So at the Columbus, Ohio library, when I was a kid, I would go there with my mom and we would check out Super 8 films. And they'd be like short, like they were little things. They're like this big, okay? Sometimes they were the bigger ones, but in general, they're like this big. And you would slap it onto the projector, put the film in, and you would crank it, and it would go through like a film. Okay, let me see if I can find a picture of it. Let's see if I can find one. But you guys know it's a small, movie projector. Okay, hold on, let me show you. Okay, so anyhow, when I went to go, okay, here it is. This is exactly what I had. Okay, check this out. If this isn't the exact one, it looks just like this. So we had this thing at home, this Super 8 projector. So you see obviously the second one is to spool it back on. And then the first one I saw in the library, I rented it or took it out, and then I put it on there. And so I watched a lot of films on Super 8. And it hit me like today. I've never talked about this. And then it reminded me, I was thinking about horror films that shaped me. And then I remember this, Curse of the Demon. Look at that thing. I was a little kid and I watched this shit. Look how scary that look at that. This thing shows up. I actually have a little bit of it I'm going to show for a second because I just want you to have an idea. But imagine seeing this through the eyes of like a 10-year-old kid, what I'm about ready to show you. This film, I've never watched the whole movie. It was only like bits and pieces. It was almost like watching a trailer on a Super 8 film. Check this out. This is actually the scene where the demon shows up, okay? So hopefully I don't get a copyright. You guys, come on. Let me show this, YouTube. Why can't I show this? Just wait. Imagine 10-year-old Eric watching this shit, Curse of the Demon, on Super 8. By the way, no sound. It was silent. Super 8 was just, there's the camera. We had a big old projector, the screen, and we screened this. Get ready because the demon's coming. And when you see the demon, you're going to be scared. There's no question in my mind you're going to freak shit out when you see the demon. So he pulls into the house. Let me scoot it forward. He comes out. Now get ready. Here comes the demon. You tell me this isn't freaky. Give it a second. He's going to look down the... Oh, here it is. Look, you got the smoke machine. Now check this shit out. Look how creepy this shit is. I was 10. I'm like, damn. What the hell is that? I mean, it looks like shit now, but look. But look, he's like, I got to get the hell out of here. This is what I remember distinctly. He hit the power cord, right? The power goes, and then he's stuck. He's in his car. Here, look at the demon. Look at that thing. Now wait till it gets up close. And then he actually fries himself. He's so scared of the demon. Oh, wait. You see the demon's face. Dude, look at that thing. Here it comes. Okay, how is that not the scariest thing you've ever seen? I was 10. And I saw that shit, and it literally, I'm going to have nightmares tonight. I forgot all about Night of the Demon. So that is your Halloween MMT must-see based on that. We talked about indelible things. Look at that. Damn, man. Nightmares are not my fault. That's what I'm talking about. I know, Johnny, I forget. It's funny how I forget. You forget these things. You go through life sometimes and all of a sudden something will jog your memory. And I just remembered that entire thing of like watching this film on Super 8 from the Columbus Library with no sound. And you wonder why I'm here tonight. You wonder why I'm here because of moments like that as a 10-year-old kid watching Curse of the Demon, Night of the Demon, Curse of the Demon. I think it's two different titles. And it is super creepy. Thanks for the stream. Thanks you, Jose. Appreciate it. Love talking films with you and your audience. Also, anyone watch Exorcist? Oh, God, hell yeah. Listen, it was just in theaters. It was just in theaters like 2 weeks ago. I wish they bring it back right now. I'd go see it again. I missed it. But, guys, I want to tell you that it's always a pleasure. I really mean that. And I know sometimes we get out of control here. That's the point of the channel. There's really no other way to do this or a reason to do this. It's because we love movies. And I'm happy to end tonight with a movie that I watched when I was 10. And now tonight, I am having to relive with all of its trauma it's bringing back to me, this image of this demon that is going to eat your soul here on this Halloween. We're close enough. Let's call it Halloween. That's going to do it. Live from LA. Appreciate it, guys. Back here on Thursday. It's a slow week this week. We have Priscilla, and that's it. I'll watch Priscilla on Thursday. We'll talk about Priscilla. We'll talk about maybe the best films of the year thus far, performances, things like that. But listen, have a safe Halloween. Go watch Night of the Demon / Curse of the Demon. I'm going to watch the entire thing, but you can't tell me that's not creepy shit. MMT out. Live from LA. Peace.